India, the world's largest democracy, stands at a crossroads. It is a nation of immense potential, with a youthful population and a rapidly growing economy. Yet, it is also a country grappling with deep-seated financial struggles that impact millions. From soaring unemployment to a crisis in agriculture, these challenges threaten to undermine India's progress. This essay delves into the complexities of India's financial woes, examining their causes and exploring potential solutions. India's economic landscape presents a picture of stark contrasts. While gleaming skyscrapers rise in its cities, symbolizing burgeoning wealth, a vast majority of its population struggles to make ends meet. The gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen, fueling social unrest and hindering inclusive growth. Understanding the root causes of these financial struggles is crucial for charting a path towards a more equitable and prosperous future. The challenges are multifaceted and interconnected. Unemployment, particularly among the youth, remains stubbornly high. The agricultural sector, the backbone of the Indian economy, is grappling with low productivity, climate change, and inadequate government support. Inflation continues to erode the purchasing power of ordinary citizens. Access to quality education and healthcare remains a distant dream for many, particularly in rural areas. India's economic growth has not translated into commensurate job creation, leading to a paradoxical situation of jobless growth. The unemployment rate as of December 2023 stood at 8.3%, reflecting a worrying trend. This is particularly alarming given India's demographic dividend, with a large proportion of its population in the working age group. The lack of employment opportunities has far-reaching consequences, leading to social unrest, poverty, and a sense of disillusionment, particularly among the youth. Several factors contribute to this unemployment crisis. The education system often fails to equip graduates with the skills required by the job market, resulting in a mismatch between supply and demand. The manufacturing sector, a potential engine of job creation, has been slow to grow due to factors such as inadequate infrastructure and bureaucratic hurdles. The informal sector, while providing employment to a significant portion of the population, often offers low wages and precarious working conditions. Addressing the unemployment crisis requires a multi-pronged approach. There is a need to revamp the education system to focus on skill development and vocational training, aligning it with the needs of the industry. Promoting labor-intensive industries such as textiles and manufacturing can create more employment opportunities. Simplifying regulations and improving infrastructure can encourage investments and foster job creation in the formal sector. Agriculture, once the mainstay of the Indian economy, is currently mired in a deep crisis. Erratic weather patterns, including droughts and floods, have severely impacted agricultural productivity, leading to crop failures and farmer suicides. The lack of adequate irrigation facilities makes farmers vulnerable to the vagaries of the monsoon, further exacerbating their plight. The minimum support price, a government intervention aimed at ensuring a minimum income for farmers, often fails to reach the intended beneficiaries due to corruption and inefficiencies in the procurement system. Furthermore, the lack of access to credit forces many farmers into a vicious cycle of debt, making them even more vulnerable to financial shocks. Revitalizing the agricultural sector requires a comprehensive strategy that addresses both the immediate concerns and long-term challenges. Investing in irrigation infrastructure is crucial to mitigate the risks associated with unpredictable weather patterns. Strengthening the MSP system and ensuring efficient procurement of crops at fair prices can provide much-needed relief to farmers. Providing access to affordable credit, technology, and information can empower farmers to enhance their productivity and income. Section 4. The inflation bite. Eroding purchasing power. Inflation, particularly in essential commodities such as food and fuel, has been a persistent concern for India. This continuous rise in prices erodes the purchasing power of ordinary citizens, disproportionately impacting the poor and the middle class. The rising cost of living makes it increasingly difficult for families to afford basic necessities, leading to a decline in their standard of living. Several factors contribute to India's inflationary pressures. Supply chain disruptions, exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical tensions, have led to shortages and price hikes. Fluctuations in global oil prices directly impact fuel costs, which have a cascading effect on transportation and other sectors. The government's fiscal deficit and monetary policies also play a role in influencing inflation levels. Controlling inflation requires a multi-pronged approach. Addressing supply chain bottlenecks, promoting domestic production of essential commodities, and diversifying import sources can mitigate supply-side pressures. Prudent fiscal policies, including rationalizing subsidies and broadening the tax base, can help manage demand-pull inflation. The central bank also plays a crucial role in controlling inflation through its monetary policy tools. Section 5. Education and Healthcare. A tale of two Indias. Access to quality education and healthcare remains a dream for many Indians, particularly those living in rural areas and belonging to marginalized communities. While India has made some progress in expanding access to education, the quality of education, particularly in government-run schools, remains a concern. The lack of adequate infrastructure, qualified teachers, and learning resources perpetuates a cycle of poverty and inequality. The healthcare system faces similar challenges. Public healthcare facilities are often overburdened, understaffed, and lack essential medicines and equipment. This forces many people to rely on private healthcare, which is often expensive and unaffordable for the poor. The high out-of-pocket healthcare expenses push millions into poverty every year. Addressing the shortcomings in education and healthcare requires a significant increase in public investment. Building more schools, improving infrastructure, and attracting and retaining qualified teachers are crucial for improving the quality of education. Similarly, strengthening public healthcare facilities, ensuring the availability of essential medicines, and promoting preventive healthcare measures are essential for providing. Section 6. Policy paralysis and corruption. Obstacles to progress. Corruption and bureaucratic inefficiencies act as major impediments to India's economic progress. Corruption diverts resources meant for development, undermines public trust in institutions, and creates an uneven playing field for businesses. Bureaucratic delays and red tape discourage investment, stifle innovation, and hinder the ease of doing business. Policy paralysis, often stemming from political considerations and a lack of consensus building, further exacerbates the situation. Delays in implementing crucial reforms and infrastructure projects hamper economic growth and perpetuate inefficiencies. The lack of accountability and transparency in governance further erodes public trust and hinders progress. Tackling corruption requires a comprehensive approach that includes strengthening institutions, promoting transparency and accountability, and empowering citizens. Simplifying regulations, streamlining bureaucratic processes, and leveraging technology can improve the ease of doing business and attract investments. Building political consensus and fostering a culture of accountability are crucial for effective. Section 7. The Way Forward. Hope in collaborative action. Despite the daunting challenges, there is hope for India to overcome its financial struggles and achieve inclusive and sustainable growth. The country's youthful population, entrepreneurial spirit, and democratic values provide a strong foundation for progress. However, realizing this potential requires a collective effort from all stakeholders, including the government, the private sector, civil society, and citizens. The government has a crucial role to play in creating an enabling environment for growth, investing in human capital, and providing a safety net for the vulnerable. The private sector can contribute by creating jobs, driving innovation, and promoting ethical business practices. Civil society organizations can play a vital role in advocating for the rights of the marginalized, holding the government accountable, and promoting social justice. Ultimately, it is the collective will and action of the Indian people that will determine the country's destiny. By working together, embracing innovation, and upholding the values of democracy and social justice, India can overcome its financial struggles and emerge as a beacon of hope and prosperity for all its citizens. Feel free to engage by liking, commenting, and subscribing to Beyond Imaginations for more captivating content.